Let's move now into the Pac-12 Prime Picks, which are coming off of a week that I am not proud of. They went 1-4 after a 7-3 start over the first 2 weeks. I was riding high, and then we got humbled last week. We got humbled in a big, big way. So sitting at 8-7 through 3 weeks on the year, it would be really nice to have a 4-1. I'd settle for a 3-2 though. I'm trying to get into like the mid to upper 50s on the season. We were just below 50% a year ago, which is not where I wanted to be. So first one, this line has gone up and down and up and down. I'm taking Oregon State minus 2.5. It's not a big number. You know, the number of times that a team wins and doesn't cover a spread that is 2.5 points, somewhere in the 15% range, 10-15%. So it's possible, it could happen, but you're essentially picking who wins the football game here. I think the answer is Oregon State. I trust the Beavs' offensive line and running game more than Washington State's to give them balance. And I think that Washington State is a good team. Make no mistake about it. But I think the Beavs are just going to be a tad too much. I won't be surprised if Washington State wins here at all whatsoever, because the Cougs are a good team. And whoever wins, as I said earlier, is a Pac-12 contender because they'll have the schedule to do it and they'll be a team capable of doing it. Like, there's so much on the line here. I'm so stoked for this football game. It's going to be fantastic. But I think the Beavs ultimately get it done. FanDuel, who's providing all the lines here for the Pac-12 Prime Picks, has them laying 2.5. I will swallow that no problem. And I will take Oregon State to win the football game. Full score prediction a bit later in the show. Utah. How about Utah? Cam Rising going to play. Look, won't be at 100%. But if you're giving me that crowd and that defense against a true freshman quarterback who hasn't played a Power 5 team before, I think Utah was going to win this game whether Cam Rising played or not. I don't think it's going to be easy all the time. But last year, UCLA hosting Utah. This is also a revenge game for them because of how that one played out. Now, Utah ended up winning the Pac-12 anyway, of course, but still, a lot of players on this Utes team, I think, remember that. Home field advantage is really important here, especially for the Utes, who have not lost a true home game since 2018. With Cam Rising expected to be back, I don't think that changes. I think this is a game where we see Utah's defense really, really reign supreme. The line is moved out to Utah minus 6. I will swallow that. I think Utah will ultimately get it done. Arizona, minus 12.5. How about Arizona, minus 12.5? I'm locking that one into the Pac-12 Prime Picks here. Look, Arizona is a good football team. I don't know if they're a great football team. In fact, I don't even think they're a great football team. But are they a good one? Yeah, I think they're solid. And Stanford off a win against Sacramento State, you could say they're in wounded animal mode. You could say they're in the mindset of, well, we got to win this football game. We got to win this. We got to win this football game because, or you know, we got to show that our season isn't going to be a wash or everything. I don't think it can matter for Stanford. I'm sorry, and I feel the same way about ASU. When you're outmatched, you're outmatched. And Arizona being a double-digit favorite at the Farm, I think they are that for a reason. I'll swallow the points there. Arizona minus 12.5. Cal plus 20.5 against Washington. I would like it more if this were 21.5. Last year in this game, I picked the spread correctly. I thought if it was 6.5, it was take Washington in Berkeley. If it was 7.5, take Cal. Final score, Washington 28, Cal 21. Plus 7.5. Cal covered. I think they will do it again. I don't know that it's having a major impact, but it can help to take away a couple plays here and there. The running clock with the Bears. Look, they have to run the football. They have to run the football. But I think the mindset here for Justin Wilcox and company is we are going to come out and take the air out of the football. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the toss, if they took it first and tried to just keep Michael Penix over on the sidelines. I think Cal's defense, I thought it would be improved coming into this year. It's looked that way through the first few games. Didn't have a great start against Idaho, which is a good FCS program, but still, they shouldn't have scored 17 points. They only should have scored 10. But they held them scoreless for the final few quarters, or final 2.5, 3 quarters, whatever exactly it was. They went on a 31-0 run. That includes a 0 from the defense. I think that this defensive staff is in a good place right now. They played very well against Auburn. They played well against North Texas. They played well enough against Idaho. I think they can play just well enough to cover that 20.5 points. Last one, USC minus 34.5. Minus 34.5. You might be saying, Spencer, that's a big number. That is a big, huge, massive, gigantic number. You are correct. It is. It's a really big number. You know why? Because USC is really good and Arizona State is really not. I know they're on the road. It's not going to matter. The fans are not showing up in droves to see this Arizona State team. Maybe they'll show up a bit more to see if they could pull an unexpected upset, what would be, I think, a historic upset for the Sun Devils with how big of an underdog they are here. But 34.5, yeah, it's a lot of points to swallow. It is a lot. I got 6 games to choose from this week, and these are the 5 that I landed on. I think the Oregon-Colorado one, I would lean towards Oregon covering, but my final game prediction there is 48-27. I think that one's going to be really, really close in terms of where the point spread is. I think Oregon wins. Their offense, I think, will be too much for the Colorado defense, but the Buffs offense, I expect to be able to move the football. I just don't think they're going to be able to get enough stops against the Ducks. Oregon didn't run it well against Texas Tech. Colorado hasn't been able to stop the run against anybody at this point in time. So I think the Ducks get the ground game going. They have balance and they're explosive and have a good quarterback with Bo Nix. So Oregon 48, Colorado 27. UCLA line up to 6. Look, should I have perhaps bet it if I were betting on this stuff with my own actual money? TBD. Would I have liked it more at 4.5? Yeah, of course. You know, it would have been a sharp play to bet it at 4.5, see the line jump out to 6 with the Cam Rising news and say, okay, yeah, I think that's really, really good value there to have an extra 1.5. I think Utah is going to be able to get it done. I'll take the Utes 31-21 over UCLA, and they cover the -6. Oregon State, Washington State, game of the week. Game of the week. 2 good defenses, a good running game on the Oregon State side of things. I don't think this is a big shootout. I think there's a slugfest component to it. I will take Oregon State to win and cover 24-20 at Washington State in Pullman. Arizona, -12.5. Why do I feel comfortable swallowing that? Because I think they're going to cover by 21 points, or win by 21 points, rather. 34-13, the final. Arizona beats Stanford and covers the -12.5. I don't trust the Cardinal offense against an improved Arizona defense, and I don't trust anything about Stanford's defense with the way they played against USC last week. And I like a lot of things about the Arizona offense. Their running game is a little underrated, but not a feature of the offense. Got great weapons, good quarterback, good coach. I like the Wildcats big there. USC covers the 34.5, winning by just enough. I think just enough. 49-13, I've got the final score. Look, it wouldn't surprise me if USC won this game 56-13 or 63-17. They're going to score a lot of points on Arizona State. They're going to score a lot of points in this game, as they have been all season long. So I think that's your final score there. And then the last Pac-12 Prime pick, again, Oregon, Colorado is the one I don't have in here because I feel at least certain about it. Washington 38, Cal 20. The Golden Bears on the road for the second straight year lose but cover against the Huskies. Those be the Pac-12 Prime picks here in week 4. All those lines, by the way, provided by FanDuel Sportsbook. You can snap in action this NFL season and college football with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. Got a great interface, and there's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. Kick off the NFL season, which is underway, and college football. All the Pac-12 betting that you need is over there. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.